Hello. This video is what I think about machines as living beings. I think we can all relate to that because of ever since 1984, the Arnold Schwarzenegger super mega blockbuster, um, um, Terminator, where the machines gain their own intelligence, decide they want to take us over, and they take us over. And then, of course, we have the Matrix movies, where machines gain their own intelligence and take us over. Now, the part about machines gaining their own intelligence, I think, and it's also something that I think a lot of people can actually believe, is accurate. And then the part about them taking us over is also representative of our mass consciousness about evil. We're still obsessed with evil, as evidenced by the whole belief in the devil that Christians have always had since the beginning, and even the fundamentalists now. And all the ideas we have about evil aliens. Out of every 99 movies about aliens, or every 100 movies about aliens, it seems like 99 of them, the aliens are bad. So it's kind of makes sense how we would think that when the machines gain their own intelligence, they will turn bad. I don't think there has been an actual movie representing robots gaining intelligence or gaining life and then becoming intelligent. There's that one Robin Williams movie. That's the only one I can think of. And then we have artificial intelligence, but I don't think those robots were actually presented to be alive. But the idea is now Bashar says that his ships are actually alive, and I have heard this from other channeled material. I can't remember if it was the Syrians, Palladians, or the Arcturians who said this. Maybe it was all three. But they did say that their ships were alive and that they were biological in nature, and that our machines of the future pretty soon are going to become biological in nature now. Now I believe that it's possible, and the idea is that, number one, our bodies are machines. So if our bodies can envelop souls, can take on souls, take on us, our life forms, then these machines, then there's no reason in our bodies are machines. Then there's no other reason there's no reason to not believe that there's another machine that we actually made that's just as, if it is just as, or even close to as complex as our machine bodies are. Then of course it will take on a life form and become self-aware. Our bodies are machines in that, if you break it down to the smallest molecule, our cells and our everything, it's all just a machine. The way that our thoughts move go along wires. The way that our thoughts communicate with our cells are just basically nanotechnology. They're just these molecules that are just and the molecules are just atoms in a certain shape with different elements organized in a certain shape, and that shape plugs in like a key going into a door, and that's actually how our thoughts get our body to move stuff around. So we are a soul communicating. Our soul communicates with our body through our pineal gland and our brain, and also our heart, but ever since from then on in, our bodies are basically machines. So now we are inventing more technology. With nanotechnology, we're inventing little atomic-sized robots that can swim around in our blood vessels and clean off the plaque. We are genetically engineering things and getting into the genes and tampering the genes. which means that we can make little different organisms, different humans, make humans however we want them pretty soon. Program a person to be so-and-so height, so-and-so hair, and everything. And when that person is born, they're alive just like anybody else. And so the idea is that you can actually do that with machines. And now, it's like, well, when would that machine actually take on a life? I would say as soon as that machine becomes sophisticated enough, it could take on a life whenever, and just whatever life goes into it, it'll just take on the life, and it'll boot up, and boom, it'll go on its own. So the idea is that we will engineer new machines, like say a spaceship, that I'm not. If it's alive, what we think of something being alive is that it eats and it poops. Like, will the machine eat? We have to feed our machine dead animals, and then it'll poop out like stinky smelling poop, and it'll be like alive like that with a heart that pumps blood through it. Well, no, it can. I mean, there are some people who are saying our bodies are actually mutating into instead of carbon-based, silicone-based, and that's crystal, and that's actually what silicone. That's what computers are made out of. So if our bodies will be silicone as computers, and computers are kind of like our brains, and they'll be alive too. But anyways, say you make a spaceship, and you make it complex enough, with powerful enough of a computer, terabyte RAM, multi-terabyte space, hard drive, to the point where it's as smart as us, right? Which we can definitely understand. The blue computer or the Cray computer beat the best chess player in the world, right? They can think for themselves. Once we design something to be that powerful, really the only step left is for a soul to actually. I mean, it's smart enough for a soul to just jump in there and live in there, and use all that wiring as its home, just like we use our body as a home. And kind of like Cal from 2001, their machine became alive. So, like maybe spirits flying around, instead of getting reincarnated in a human body, they're going to the ship. Because the ship's smart enough. It's like a vessel, an empty vessel, to take a soul. So, and with all of our nanotechnology, you can think of us as like cyborg people to use all of that. Well, we'd just implement that kind of nanotechnology into these machines, make the machines that intelligent, make them read off us, and boom, you've got a ship that's alive, and you can talk to it, and it, now, and so the big question, and I guess it's a question for Bashar, is like what. I guess everything lives and dies, so I guess will these ships live and die, or will these ships be immortal? Will the ship suddenly one day go, okay, I'm bored, I'm ready to move on to my next life, I guess I'm going to die now. So when it dies, will it get a walk-on? Will another soul inhabit it? Or will the ship just, all of the parts just wear out and just go, okay, I'm ready to die now, and it dies, and then they discard it and they build a new ship? I don't know. I'll have to ask the aliens. But anyways, I'm throwing my 2 cents in and saying that yes, I do believe that computers pretty soon we're going to realize that they're alive. Now, what's kind of a soul interest? It's going to be a normal human soul, or is it going to be a more advanced, wiser soul that's going to go in there? Well, if it's more powerful than our brains, which is kind of, you could believe maybe a higher soul will go in there. But I don't know. Kind of out of time. That's just my 2 cents. It's pretty trippy, though.